Okay, welcome back to another week's video. This week our big goal is to get 15 acres of our grazing block reseeded before the weather breaks. Now it doesn't give any rain until Tuesday, but that still doesn't leave me a lot of time to get 15 acres reseeded considering today is Thursday. So the field was sprayed off with a cheap version of Roundup on Friday, so that is 6 days ago. The cows grazed it yesterday. It was topped this morning just to get rid of any extra grass, a few of the weeds, and it has now got manure on it as well. Oh, this disc is totally screwed. How am I going to cut that? Do I go find a knife, or can I get it off with the hammer? Surely I can get it. I think this is the better option. Come on, nearly got it. Oh, that was really wrapped around that. It's not perfect, but it's better. I'll stick a little grease in it. Oh, it's still pretty stiff. Listen, I'm not getting any more string out of that. Let's just leave it and move on. You didn't see that. All the rest of them are fine. Right, that's them discs all done. They all spin freely. They all spin freely. Now let's do the bottom discs. There's more cord. Where does this stuff come from? I did have a quick glance over this plough when I finished the last time I used it, but I didn't actually check that closely. Clearly. We're nearly ready to go. There's one more main grease nipple, and then I have to try and get the link arms on the tractor going because they're solid and I need to tighten them up a wee bit. So hopefully this doesn't turn into an hour-long siege. Okay, the plan is to get a Stilson on it, but I don't know if that's actually going to be possible. It's always so awkward. Ah, crap, it's not going to work. Ah. Do I just try hitting it with the hammer? Is that a good idea? Just need to catch, just needed to catch. Okay, caught, I got it. Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck, it's not going to move. Balls. How is it so flippin' solid? It actually worked. Hitting it with the hammer actually worked. You're kidding. No way. That actually worked. That never works. Wow. Hard to beat a hammer. I actually can't believe that worked. So pretty much everything I know about ploughing I learned from a TikTok made by Drew's Farming Life. So if my ploughing is a total balls, an absolute mess, it's his fault. This is also going to be a really complicated field to plough. It's kind of a really weird shape. There's a big hill at the back of it that I'm never getting up, which is going to have to be ploughed one way. It curves round like a banana, but I think I have a good plan. But again, Drew from Drew's Farming Life never went into the details as to how I should do this. So if I mess this up, blame him. This is basically like the first day of summer here in Northern Ireland, and it is currently the 5th of September. Oh, I am really gambling that we are going to have an incredible September and October, and I'm sort of really hoping that that pans out. I just annihilated that fence. I wish I had the camera on. It's fine, it's only the sheep wire and we're never having sheep on these fields again, so no loss. I'm actually kind of excited to get ploughing again, and normally I really hate this job, so how long before I'm bored? I reckon 30 minutes. You might be able to see my dad in the distance there. He's just spreading the last load of manure. So the plan is to plough straight down this line and then work our way across the field and leave the awkward wet bits until the very end. I will stick you on the back window and we'll see how this goes. Letting people judge your ploughing is an incredibly exposing experience. Now, we don't want to plough too close to the lane So before you all get angry that I'm leaving some, it doesn't matter, okay? It really doesn't matter. I'm definitely going the right way. I'm not making any ridiculous mistakes that make me look like a total idiot. I have my depth wheel set to roughly where it should be. I have my draft control set in the middle. And I think we're good to go. So remember, don't overthink it. Just do it. Right, we have a nice start made. I'll try not to turn too much. We probably need to drop down a wee bit more. Front furrow is quite high, but that's because our back wheel isn't in a furrow. So that's fine. And remember, I said we don't want to be too close to the lane. The power harrow will make a nice job of that. If we go too close, we're going to end up with a big hump. Top link could probably be extended a wee bit. That's probably why it wasn't going in deep enough. There's a wee bit of a wet spot coming up, so I'm ready on the diff lock. Probably give it a wee bit more rev. Okay, diff lock is needed. That is a wet spot for sure. We now have a hill to climb, but I am very confident it won't cause any issues. If this hill does cause issues, we're totally screwed. I'm not ploughing this the other way. Yeah, no problem at all. And if that doesn't look straight, it's your eyesight. It is perfectly straight. Another wet spot. I'm hoping I get through this wet spot without having to lift the plough. Okay, good, we're fine. So we're going to stop about there. We're going to put in our top link, lift the plough up, flick the sods over nicely. Okay, that wasn't nicely, just ignore that. And then let's do another score, and then we're going to plough back and forth. Just caught the fencing wire. Crumbs. Ah, get out. Darn it. Right, I need to get out to fix this before the cows are everywhere. Right, I'll have to lift that really quickly whenever I get back in. In other good news, the boards are shiny without me having to get out once. So I was worried about that little bit of rust for absolutely no reason. Now, I'm not lined up properly. So let's line up properly. We want a nice straight line here. I could have went further forward, you know what? I really could have went further forward, but it'll be okay. I don't think it'll add much time to the ploughing on Saturday. Okay, let's get into the back and forth ploughing and see how much I can get done in the next 2 hours. Okay, this is turning over pretty nicely and the soil is lovely and dry underneath, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So I'm going to be ploughing this for the next 2 hours, and then I have to bring the cows in, and then I'm going to take my son to his swimming lessons and go for a little swim myself. So I will be back, diff lock please, I will be back here this evening around 7 o'clock to plough for another few hours. So I'm going to settle in and try and get quite a bit done before milking time, and I'll give you a status update later on this evening. So welcome back to Thursday evening. I got loads ploughed this afternoon, and it actually didn't even take that long. I was ploughing for about 2.5 hours. The soil has turned over really, really nicely. Ignore this bit in front of us. I hit some roots. Not my fault. So it's actually dried out amazingly on the far side as well, which I'm very happy about. But the reason I've jumped out is I want to show you this little spot right here. So if any of you watch me on TikTok, you'll have seen this last week where I almost got stuck trying to spray this field with the sprayer. This bit of the field is just a mucky, muddy mess. And you would think that the only way to fix this is to get a drain installed. But once it's ploughed, the soil underneath is bone dry and perfect. So the point I want to make is that this wet puddle was caused by surface compaction. It was not caused by deep down compaction. And this is a great example of why I love the plough. You could tear a subsoiler through here and it absolutely would dry it up, but all you're really doing is breaking the compaction on the surface. There is no subsoil compaction to remove. And if I didn't plough this and I just overseeded it, that surface compaction would still remain and this would still be a wet spot. My solution to almost everything is to plough it. On a totally unrelated side note, I have had a notion to build like an outdoor spa right here for the last 3 years. And I actually think it's a brilliant idea. It is the nicest view ever. Just imagine a wee wooden path weaving down the hillside to a sauna, a little hot tub, a little cold plunge where you can jump into the river, maybe even a little campfire. On a lovely evening like this, you could not ask for better. But that's enough about my spa experience business plan. Let's get back to ploughing. Such a lovely spot. Back to the tractor. It is another absolutely glorious day and it gives good weather today, which is Friday, tomorrow, which is Saturday. It gives good weather on Sunday, but it is cloudy. And then the last day of sunshine before we get some rain is Monday. So I have a heck of a lot of ploughing to do over the next 2 days and it's going to be really slow going because it's going to be downhill in one direction. Remember One Direction? My goodness, I haven't heard of them in a long time. Anyway, to complicate matters, my dad is heading off on holidays today, which means that I'm going to have to do the milking, feed the cows, do all of like the routine jobs, which means I'm going to get less time to actually plough. One other thing which is going to really interrupt my morning's ploughing is I have a full load of urea arriving, which I'm going to put in the shed and store until next year. Oh yeah, and the cows are finally in the field that we decided was too wet last week. It's dried up a lot. And I will conclude one more storyline this morning. The milk yield has improved a lot. We were all the way down at just over 20 litres per cow, which is the lowest milk yield we've ever had just 2 weeks ago. And now we're back up to 23 litres per cow today, which is actually above last year and is about in line with our average. I mentioned more about my struggle with milk yield on TikTok, but it essentially validates what I thought, which was there wasn't a health issue. There wasn't anything wrong with the meal, it was just that the dry matter of the grass in the fields that we were grazing was so low, cows couldn't eat enough, and also the silage was, I just went to change gear and missed it, and also the silage we were feeding wasn't the best. They've moved from the third cut onto the second cut as well, which has given us another half a litre in the last 2 days. So I'm pretty much down to the headlands on this first little bit that I'm ploughing, and then we're going to start onto the hill. So I'm going to catch up with you this afternoon. I'll bring the drone out and explain the situation, and I'll see you then. Okay, so that's the fertilizer offloaded. It is currently 12 o'clock, so I am so far behind where I need to be today. But I'm going to go grab the drone and I'm going to get some shots of the ploughing. I'll get some shots of Calvin, who's currently topping with the Puma. I know the Puma's too big for the topper. I don't have another tractor, so just forget about it. It's not a big deal. And then I'm going to try and give you a really quick talk through as to why I'm ploughing the field the way I am, because I'm 100% sure I'm going to get abuse for it. Oh, my lab is such a mess at the minute, but we'll worry about that when it starts to rain again. How good would farming be if we got this weather and you could depend on it? You knew that your summer was going to be sunny. Oh, it would honestly be the best job in the world if you could depend on the weather. Before I get a heap of questions about the fertiliser, it's for next year, it's 30 tonne of urea. I paid £350 a tonne, which is a pretty good price. It's the same as can being £210 a tonne. Is the price going to go lower than that? Highly doubt it. Is the price going to rise for next spring? Probably not. So I've bought that fertiliser because I think I can afford it. I think I have the cash flow to do it. Gives me a bit of an insurance policy in case the price rises because of unknown circumstances, but I don't think I'm going to save a fortune of money by buying it now versus next spring. So I'm going to do this video in two parts. Today's video is going to be about the ploughing, and we'll probably end it after I get this drone footage because I need to actually get on and do some work today. And then on Wednesday, we're not going to do Farm Theory News. Instead, I am going to do a video about the rest of this reseeding process. So power harrowing tomorrow, I will still be ploughing tomorrow as well, getting it rolled tomorrow and getting everything ready, including liming and fertilizer for it to be sowed with grass seed on Monday evening. So that's the plan. Will that happen? I don't know. I'm really hoping it does because it does give quite a lot of showers for all of next week. So bit of pressure, bit of a panic, but we'll see how we get on. Right, let's get the drone up in the air. The way I have ploughed this field is 100% going to get me some criticism, but remember, don't blame me, blame Drew from Drew's Farming Life. He never explained how you should lay out a field. He just told me how to plough, not how to actually lay it out. And actually, I don't think there's a better way. There probably is a better way. You can let me know the better way in the comments, right? I'm going to put the drone up, I'll do a little montage, I'll try and get some nice shots of the Puma with the little tiny topper, and I will see you on Wednesday for the rest of this video where we will be power harrowing, I will still be ploughing, we will be rolling, sowing, spreading and liming. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, please do subscribe, comments down below are always welcome, and I will see you on Wednesday for the rest of this video.